So, I am living with aliens. And when I say that, I mean teenagers. Man, having teenagers is no joke. I have five, no, three teenagers. I have a 19, a 18, a 16, a 15, and a 13-year old. And these teenagers are like not teenagers anymore. This new generation of teenagers, something is really wrong with them. They walk around like they don't know you, like you don't exist. I don't get it. Like teenagers are not how we was raised. You know, I understand that teenagers they have, they're going into transition into puberty. You get your hormones is going, your testosterone and stuff. But these 2021 teenagers are off the chain. They feel like they're entitled to a lot of things. They feel like they don't have to work for anything. They feel like you're not supposed to discipline them. They act like you can't correct them for any wrongdoing that they do. Like where do you do that at? You know, um, I really don't get it. I really honestly don't get it. These are the most um entitlement children teenagers I have ever seen. I think kids that were born in 2000 on, yeah, they really seriously have like some type of something going on because they feel like they're entitled. They're very disrespectful. They feel like you have to kiss their ass as a parent. That no matter what you try to do, how to correct them, if they feel like it's just not, you're not allowed to do so. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like I said, I got five teenagers and oof, it's rough. And they're boys. So me as a single mom is very hard. I lost their dad 13 years ago as of May 6, 2008. So I am raising children. And it gets serious. It gets real hard. And like I said, these generation of children, these are not normal teenagers. These are some aliens. These are some ones that just walk around the house as if you don't exist, can walk right past you, eat your food, wash their ass, use your water, use your electric. But at the same time, it's like, I'm entitled to do so, but I'm entitled to ignore you. I'm entitled to disrespect you, and you have to deal with it. No, like this generation is something really wrong with them. I don't get it. I understand. We try to as a parent, pave the way for them to be civilized civilians in society so that when they do get out there and they're, of age, they have some type of, accountability for their actions, and half of the time they're like, yeah, I did it. And so what? Yeah, it was wrong and I knew it. And so what? Like, no, that's not how society works. You have to take accountability and take the discipline right along with it. And these kids don't feel as though that you're not supposed to say absolutely nothing to them. Like, it's just beyond, it is just beyond. And I'm living with aliens. So I'm just like, I'm just living in the world. Like, okay, living in a world with aliens. That's how I feel. I'm just in a, I feel like I'm living with aliens in the same household, but a different planet. And these kids these days are just not kids. They're just, I don't know. And the discipline, there's a difference between discipline and abuse. And it's like as soon as you discipline them or you put your hands on these kids now, it's like, what? You hit me? I'm calling such and such. Let me tell you something. I don't care who it the hell you call. When you disrespect me in my house where I pay my bills and I make sure you have a roof on your head, warm, hot water for you to wash your ass, home cook hot meals waiting for you, you know, I deserve some respect. Like, no. If you're wrong, yes, I'm going to discipline you. No, it's not called abuse. That's where kids get it messed up at. You do something, I was raised like this. You do something wrong or something that you weren't supposed to do. Back in the day when we were outside playing with our friends, you know what? Mr. Johnny or Miss Ethel or whoever used to be outside on their porch watching us as if we were their child. So it's a moment that we stepped out of our boundaries, right? Our parents back in the day gave the okay to them to address the situation, to correct them. Not only that, but bring us to back to our parents. Where now, not are we only in trouble with our neighbors down the street. We're now in trouble with our parents because now we showed off in the streets because in the streets we represent our parents. Now you try that crap, what? Mama's ready to fight, the dad is ready to fight. Oh, that's not my child. My child would never do such and such. My child is this. My child is very respectful. Kids are really they're sneaky. When the parents ain't around, girl, they sneaky. They are very sneaky. I believe it. When I'm at work, I believe my kids are cussing. When I'm not around, when I'm at work, as long as they don't do it in front of me, I'm good. But kids do stuff that they know they ain't supposed to do. But the thing is, back in the day, if we did something we had no business doing, don't get caught. Don't get don't let it get back to our parents. You know what I mean? But these kids are just blank right, just disrespectful, as if we are supposed to raise them with respect, with some type of morals and boundaries, you know, because we want them to be the best human beings we possibly can be. They can be, out there. I tell my kids all the time, I don't raise thugs and things of that nature. I raise kings and queens. That's what I'm raising. So that in society, so when you do become of age and you go out in society, you can be proud and say, that's my son, that's my daughter, and people speak very highly of them because they look at the mother and the father and who they were raised. You know what I mean? But these kids are definitely aliens. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't even have the words for it because I'm just like, wow. 1 minute they were, you know, innocent, full of love. That age where they're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old and they 6 years old and they still need their mom and their dad, and they still saying I love you. And when they see you upset, they come running to you, giving you kisses and telling you it's gonna be okay. And years later you wake up and they are totally different. They are not who we fell in love with. Because now they become something totally the opposite. And I know that they're trying to find who they are, but it's like, hello, wait a minute. Like, you go to bed sweet, you wake up like I'm non existent. I'm in the home with you. I live with you. I eat with you, and I interact with you, but I'm an alien or they're alien. Because now they act like we don't exist. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. And I know some parents can relate to this all the time. It's just these are not regular teenagers. 2021 teenagers. Ooh, they cut from a different breed. They are really cut from a different breed. And every day is a struggle. Every day is a fight. And I'm trying to stay strong because as a single mom, 5 teenagers, five at one time is deep, is real. Ooh, they sometimes they can make you get gray hairs, but I ain't got none so far. But yeah, they definitely can take you there. Um, they just from a different planet. That's all I can say. They definitely from a different planet. Those of y'all that have teenagers, they mouth is ridiculous. I'll be like, who are you talking to? Like, I don't even have the words for it. But yeah, these kids today are definitely a handful. It takes a bunch of prayer because I'll be ready to stoop to their level and forget that I'm their mom, right? And just be like, yo, who you talking to? Let me be a teenager for 1 minute. For 1 minute, let me go toe to toe with you. Let me go head to head with you right quick to remind you that I'm your mother. I'm the parent, and what I say goes. But these teenagers today, they have, I don't know what planet they from, but they ain't from Earth. I'm going to tell you that. They are not from Earth. They are some aliens. I'm living with aliens. Aliens. I'm living with aliens. I don't even live with children. I live with aliens. Aliens. Every day is something different. Every day they walk around as if they exist, as if I don't exist. Aliens. These kids today are aliens. They used to be so sweet, so loving, and now they just think they entitled to so much, and I don't get it. I don't understand how they think that they're going to make it out there in the real world like that. Like somebody got to discipline you. It's either I discipline you or you go out there in them streets and you act any old kind of way, and the streets will kill you. That's point blank and simple. That's just how it is. I don't understand why they don't want boundaries. You don't want to be corrected when you're wrong. Like, how is that as a parent? How am I supposed to allow disrespectfulness, defiancy? How am I supposed to allow my product to go out in society and to be anything and do anything they want to do? Because at the end of the day, it falls back on me. So, I mean, if your kid, I'll tell you like this, if your kid is always happy, right, and they always smile and things of that nature, you're not being a parent. But if your kids are miserable and they don't like what you're doing, guess what? You're doing your job. And don't let them make you feel guilty. Like, well, if I take this away, then they'll do this. Listen, do what you got to do. Do not give in to these teenagers, because I don't. Yes, they make us very frustrating, very frustrated. Being a parent is a lot of work. It's sacrificing, and it's very challenging at times. But don't give in as a parent. These teenagers are something else, and that's what they want. They know how to push our buttons. They do. They know how to get us to this point where we just give up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just let them do what they want to do, because that's the easy way out. That's the easy way out for them. You know, as parents, it could be hard. Like I said, these kids today, they are very defiant. They're very disrespectful. They're very just blunt out with their mouth. Like whatever they say goes. That's not how it goes. But like I said, if your kids are happy and they're, it's nothing wrong with them doing good, but if they're always happy and you're always giving them what they want, just know, that you're setting them up for failure. I'm gonna let you know that. And I know sometimes as parents, we always wish that, what we didn't have as a kid, we want to give to our kids. And I understand that, but don't make it to whereas they are now spoiled to whereas they think that everybody has to give them something and they have to work for nothing. That's not how it works. And it's like I said, it's okay to give them things, but don't give it to whereas they don't know the appreciation behind it. You know, we always want to say to avoid things with our children. That's I want to, we don't spend as much time, but we buy things for them, materialistic things, and thinking that it replaces the time, with them. No. And now they grow up and be little spoiled little brats, and now they got to be somebody's mate, and then they got to be raising somebody else's son or somebody else's daughter. That's not how it goes. Yes, raising teenagers is very frustrating, it's very hard, it's very challenging, but don't give in. Don't allow them to make you feel like it's your fault, and don't allow them to play the victim, because that's what teenagers do. They play the victim. It's the parent. It's the parent. They don't let me do this. They don't let me do that. No. Make boundaries. Make rules and keep them. Because to be honest with you, kids want rules. They want rules. They want boundaries. They want to be able to know what they can and cannot do, to be honest with you. But you have to remain strong enough to stay that way, consistent. You can't say I'll make rules and then wind up changing it maybe a week or two into the stability that you want them to be, and the consistency. The moment that a child sees inconsistency, then that's when they decide to say, hey, that's not working, or let me play on that. And the next thing you know, you're back to square one. So I'm just going to leave you with this. Don't ever let your child or your children make you feel as though that make you feel guilty about the choices that you make for them. Yes, sometimes they don't like the word no, but sometimes the word no is good. You know, we trying to, they don't understand that we're trying to protect them physically, mentally, emotionally. You know, um, because they don't see what we see as a parent. And sometimes I get this all the time. You don't understand. You don't understand. You wasn't 16. You wasn't 15. Well, how the hell did I get to 39? I didn't jump and skip and hop all the way to 39. I had to go from 0 to 39 to be where I am. And they don't get it. They crack me up with that. They say, oh, you never been where I'm at, or um, you don't understand. Yeah, I do. I understand. I had to go through things to be where I am today. So I don't get it. They don't understand because they're just now going through it. We've been there, and some things they may not understand, and they're not going to understand. But please do not let your children make you feel like it's your fault. It is your job as a mother. It is your job as a father to make and set boundaries for them. It's not time to sit here and be buddy buddy with your children. That is unacceptable, because now you're giving them mixed signals of, the correct parenting and wanting to be their friend. You can't be your child's friend. I'm sorry. You cannot. You cannot be your child's friend, because now they're not going to know the difference. There's certain things they let their friends do, and certain things parents do. And when you mix those together, they're deadly. So please do not, don't let your kids make you feel like you are shit. Don't let your kids make you feel um like you're nothing. Yeah, they gonna get mad. Yeah, they gonna get mad. But just know, when they mad, right, you're setting an example for them to kind of get in the role of things, because when they get older, they're going to have to deal with different conflicts, and it's teaching them to properly, proper to be better as a human being. But do not, and I mean it, don't, because I was at that point where I allow my kids to make me feel like um that I excuse their behavior. Put it that way. I allow them to to act out, to be disrespectful with their mouths, and be disrespectful with, through their behavior, because their father passed away. And I felt as though that was, an excuse. I justify their negative behavior to do those things. And when you do that, you set them up for failure. You have to stop it in the bud somewhere along the line and say enough is enough. you know it's just some things in life that we do not have control over, and one of them is death. Death. No one's ever prepared to say goodbye to their loved one. No one is ever ready to say that, whether it's a husband, whether it's a child who lost their father, a child who lost their mother, a child who lost a sister, a child who lost a brother. You know, Losing someone is very hard, and everybody takes it differently. Everybody takes death differently. Grieving is very the hardest part, and dealing with the fact that a loved one is not coming back. But even though my kid's father passed away 13 years ago, my children were, I want to say, I had stair steppers. I had a 3, 4, 5, and then I had a baby in my belly. So for years, I justified their behavior. I allowed them to disrespect me, to talk back to me, to do anything to make them feel like I was to blame for whatever the way they were feeling, because their father has now transitioned, um, to heaven. So, and now they're, like I said, now they're 16 and 15 and 13. And now they feel as though that because I allowed it for so long to go on, they think that now it's a habit, it's a part of who they are. And if you don't stop it, it can spiral out of control. And when they get into their adult life, they feel as though they feel as though that they can do that. When they get in their adult relationships with their mates and things of that nature. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I did decide to say, you know what, no, you're not going to play the victim anymore. It is what it is. um and that's it, because kids will ride that thing until they can't ride it no more, and until you stand up and say, I'm not going to feel guilty, I'm not going to allow myself to play like it's me, it's my fault. But like I said, don't let your kids make you feel like it's your fault. Stand strong, wear a smile on your face. um yeah, sometimes you're going to cry because it's hard and you feel like you do not want to be a parent. Sometimes it gets real as teenagers, because now they're trying to find who they are. And I understand that. But in the process, you have to be that parent. You have to stand strong on your foundation, that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. And like I said, do not let these teenagers, don't let them make you feel like less than, because what you're doing, you as a parent is trying to get them ready for society. They may not understand it now, but later on through their life journey, they will understand it, and they will one day come back to you and appreciate and thank you for what you have done, instead of just letting them do what they want to do. And that's what they want to do. They want to do what they want to do. They want to see what they can get away with. They want to see what boundaries to cross, and what they can and cannot do. But as long as you stay strong and you are the parent and you do what you have to do, then you will be fine. You're gonna cry, you're going to hurt. You're going to kind of blame yourself and say, where did I go wrong as a parent? Even though your child may be an adult now, we kind of beat ourselves up as parents, because we instilled so much in our children that when they become an adult, and we find ourselves um, finding them in situations that, you try to prevent. But at the end of the day, you know, we just let our kids be. You got to let your kids learn. But again, do not let your children make you feel like you are, like it's your fault, because it's not. Keep standing strong. Because we will win. We will win. We will win. And that is it. That is it for tonight. So I hope that helps somebody. You may be frustrated. You know, at the same time, these kids are aliens. No matter what, it seems like no matter how well you try to train them, how well you try to get them ready for society, that they be at least, a decent um person in society, a decent person in society, that they will appreciate what you're trying to do for them. But it's not what you know we sometimes expect out of them. But the end of the day, just do what you can do. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to have them be, you know, a decent civilian in society. And keep laying them rules. Keep putting it out there. Keep reminding them. You know, that wherever you go, you got to follow rules. You got to listen to somebody. So again, um, hopefully I help somebody, that's struggling and dealing with teenagers just like I am. And it ain't no joke. It get real. It gets real. I feel like I'm in a boxing ring with them. I feel like I'm in a boxing ring trying to, you know, bob and weave with these attitudes and these behaviors and these different hormones that's coming left and right. I feel like I'm bobbing and weaving, trying to survive. Like, can I make it? Yep, I can definitely make it, and so can you. So on that note, have a good night, and till next time.